got some notes. So I'm going to probably mess this up straight away. We're here with Alice, and that last name is, what is it? I can't do the A. Schwarzler? I've already wrecked it.
You nearly got it.
Schwarzler?
Schwarzler.
Schwarzler. So it's good?
Yeah, it's
Schwarzler.
perfect. It's like hard to pronounce as a not Austrian.
Yeah, I think Australians just struggle to speak in general. So
Yeah.
it's hard for us. But yeah, we're here with Schwarzler.
Great.
Elias Schwarzler, the world's fastest man, actually. You are the fastest man on 2 wheels, assisted by a motorcycle, but you hold the record, which, how long ago did you set that record? It was quite recent, wasn't it? It wasn't that long ago at all.
Yeah, like it was a long goal to break the world record. The world record before was like 211. And then I broke it with like 272 kilometers per hour, so like pretty fast.
Yeah.
But yeah, didn't go. The mission was mission 300, so I wanted to go for 300. But I didn't make it. So I guess it wasn't the last video.
I was gonna say back to the drawing board, and
yeah,
you're gonna go for it again. You still got the 300 in mind.
We need another vehicle who pulls me.
Yeah.
But yeah, if we get another vehicle, so if you have a contact to a Formula 1 driver or something like
maybe
that.
Maybe 2 motorbikes, like a chariot almost. I think would be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Just both towing you.
Yeah, what was
just like a sled of motorbikes to get you up to speed.
Yeah, like we had like a pretty fast motorbike, like a MotoGP Moto 2 bike.
Yeah.
It was pretty fast, and on a track he rode alone with a motorbike, and he got like 340, and I saw like, yeah, we will make it. And then like I was like a windshield, behind there, because like for me the most important thing was that the whole bike is completely standard. Started from the tires to the wheels to like everything, it's 100% standard with parts you can buy, like everyone can buy. I was like the most important thing, so I was standing completely in the wind down there, and it was hard. Like I was like a windshield, so we couldn't even get faster than 272. And like the crazy thing to think about, it took like 5 seconds to come from 0 to 200, but from 200 to 272 it took like 45 seconds. 45 seconds. I was like, that was a hell of a ride. Like
that's the scariest part as well, when you're like just waiting and waiting and waiting. And
right.
Did you get speed wobbles at all at that speed? Did you feel like you were kind of out of control? Or did it feel quite safe?
No, I definitely feel like I'm completely out of control, because like the most scariest part was at beginning at 250, because I was lying down on my bike. The wind came in from here, and like I get pushed up, and I hold my bike, so I push my bike up too. So I was in really like nearly all the time. Like you can't really see it on camera, but for me it felt like I'm riding like just a one wheel, like all the time.
Yeah.
And that was like maybe the scariest thing. And like the second scariest thing was like I couldn't really put my head up, because like the wind was so hard.
In the helmet cam, it just looks like you're looking at the ground, but that's what you're actually doing,
right?
Because it was going that fast that you're pretty much blind, like looking straight at your front tire.
Right. I wasn't really able to put on my helmet.
Yeah.
Like it was so hard. Like if you think about a motorcycle or something like that, you have like the windshield, and the wind goes over you.
Yeah.
But I didn't have that, so it was like completely directly to the wind. It was so hard. So hard.
I know I have a motorcycle at home, and it didn't have a front shield, and I noticed when I brought one, the difference it made with force from the wind on your chest was ridiculous. Like it was night and day. It was so much different. So I can imagine that for you. And did you also feel that if you did put like a windshield on it, or did make the bike look like modified, it would take away from the record? Because people would be like, it's not a real, like you can't buy that. That's not a stock bike. It's modified to the point where it doesn't seem relatable to the normal person.
Yeah. So if you look to the Guinness World Records guidelines, it's allowed to modify it.
I understand that, but do you think that would take away
from
how the
public
viewed it? They'd be like, oh, it's a spaceship. It's not a real bike.
Right. Because like that's the thing. I guess like the most of the guys out there don't really know why I got pushed by a motorcycle, because like they say like, hey, you aren't able to ride it like downhill. You aren't able to ride downhill that fast, because like the free fall speed is around 230. So my mission was to ride 300, and there was the like getting pulled is like the only way how you can ride that fast. So that's the reason why I took the motorcycle. And like also like the other thing, like if you would put like motorcycle tires on it, it's like every motorcyclist would say like, hey, yeah man, it's like nearly a motorcycle, you know. And for that, it's like
take away from how what it was actually, like what the goal was, to just have a stock bike. Right. Like you could ride that bike down a downhill track after that. Right, definitely. And it was pretty hard or pretty cool, because we did like a lot of testing, and we tested around, I would say like around 50 tires. Yeah. Because the problem was at first, like we thought the project is done, because all the tires blew up at 280. All the tires blew up. And then we found a tire who held it up. How did you test them? Was it like on a dyno or something?
Yeah, it was like pretty interesting, because like we went to Continental. It was like a long partner for me. They said no, they won't be interacted in the world record, because like it's too dangerous for them. Then I searched for like a lot of other test stations, and they all say like they can't do it. And then we said, hey, let's just build our own testing station. And then two friends of mine built it like everything up, and then we tested like tires over tires.
Because you said it took almost a year from when you started planning to when it actually went through with the test.
Right. Because like for me, it's the most important thing. The Guinness World Record was not about getting the world record. It was about to overcome that fear. And how do you overcome that fear? You make it with like a good preparation. And so I had to make like, if you go like a little bit deeper in that fear thing, like I always ask like myself like 4 questions. If I have fear, I always ask myself like 4 questions. And there's one, like the first one, if I'm able to do it, like do I have the qualifications to do it? Yeah, definitely. Like nearly everyone can ride that fast. And the second question is like, have I done everything for the safety? And that's like the thing, like the track, pretty important. Is the track like pretty safe? Is my bike safe? Am I safe? Like, and for that we had a lot of preparation.
Did you said then, like you touched on the part about you do it to overcome the fear. Now I thought that was really interesting. Like we're in Aosta at the moment. We're doing like the Scott thing, and like obviously we're chatting to a lot of like top athletes. And when we did a little game where you were kind of speed dating real quick, and you had to ask questions and stuff. And when I sat down with you, it's like the first thing was kind of you talked about and touched on was like overcoming the fear is your big thing. And I felt like that was super interesting straight away to like hear that. And like we're sitting down talking like world champions and other people setting records, but your thing was like, I want to overcome fear. And I'm like, that's the kind of person I like to talk to, because I find that so fascinating, because I think a lot of people everywhere are so dominated by fear. Like they live in fear constantly, and they're afraid to tackle it head first and overcome it. They sit in it forever, and they never figure out why they're scared of something, and they never want to overcome being scared of that. And I think you're the opposite, where you go head first into it and go, I'm scared of this, but how do I not get scared of it, and how do I overcome it, and how do I like be resilient and like strong and all these things that then make you like a better person in life in general. And I think that's really, really cool. But I'm fascinated to know where you think that comes from, that the idea to like go into fear head first. Like that's not a normal trait that people have, and I feel like I'm just super interested in like where that comes from with you. It's hard.
That's like a good question. Because that's a good question.
Were you ever really afraid of something in the past that you overcome, and then you were like, oh man, that feels so good, and then that was the catalyst to where you are now?
I guess like it was like a combination of a lot of projects, because like when I was young, like I had a big fear of from sleeping, like hearing sounds and stuff like that. But then, like on every project, you had to overcome that fear of like getting injured or even jump the new big huge jump or something like that. And like with the time, I even thought more and even more about that whole thing. And then I was like, hey, it's like always the same. Like fear is like always the same. And that was so interesting. Like the fear from what I had at home, like with sleeping, like because like hearing a sound was the same. Then like was the same fear than riding 300 kilometers or even doing the world record with 272 kilometers per hour. Because like when sleeping in the dark and hearing a noise, you have like one thing missing, because like you don't know what's happening. And that's the thing you're missing. So that's the reason why you have fear. And like if I ride 272 kilometers per hour, I also have fear because I don't know how everything reacts and what can happen. So that's the thing. And like we already talked down there, I know, about the second thing of fear, is like when you had bad memories, like talking in front of a group,
like trauma as a child.
Right. And I guess like these are two things. Like the first thing is like if you don't know what's going on, then you become fear. If you walk through a dark wood, it's like you become fear because like you don't know what's going on. And like the second thing is because when you have bad memories of that. But what I think like is so interesting is, and that was a long journey to think about it and to realize that like fear is something good. And that's like, if you think about it, it's pretty hard, because like fear is something good, because like fear saves you from dying, or saves you from being like pretty injured, or being like in a huge danger. So fear is good. The problem with fear is that it's like a mental thing, and the mind could not decide if the fear is, I can talk it in German but not in English. If the fear is
almost like if it's real, how to deal with it. Is that kind of what you mean? Like, is the fear like I think I know what you're kind of going to say, but it's like it's good to have it. But if you don't use it the right way, it can like it can be worse.
Right. And if you work on it, you can overcome like nearly every fear. Because like if you really work on it, you can overcome like nearly every fear. And the point is, if you can't really work on it, the fear is good and saves you from doing like wild thing. Like if you do like a world's first or something like that, or even like some pretty crazy thing, and you have like a big fear and you can't even overcome that fear, maybe the fear is good because it saves you from doing that and saves you from dying or even get injured pretty hard. So
I think it's like, the whole idea of fight or flight. Like we all have that instinct, like either we stay in fight or we fly away and like abandon it. And I think when it comes to fear, like you get those two options. You either stay in fight and you overcome it, or you run away from it. And I think sometimes it's safe to run. Like if a lion's trying to eat you and you're scared, run. Like get away from it. But if like for you, if the fear of going that fast is something you want to overcome, you work towards that. And then in the process of working towards that and understanding the fear, and then like I think once you understand the fear and why, and then working it out, and then growing as a person and understanding yourself better, I think that's when you develop as a human being in all aspects of life. And like we talked about overcoming adversity through either like videos or racing or whatever, like it just makes you a better person because you understand yourself better, you understand others better. It's like it's such a good way to become a good person is to like overcome fear, whether it be in any aspect of sports or whatever it is. It's like it just grows it so quick.
And like you said like two very important points, and there is a third one. And for me, like to see, I have fear, and that fear is like that is good, so I shouldn't do it. Because like that's also like a good point to be like a good, becoming even a better and better person, when you also see like you fight for it. Yeah, you really fight for it, but you realize, hey man, don't go over that limit, because like fear is something good that saves you. And like also like go for it, go really hard for it, but also see when there's the limit. Because and
understand when to pull back, when to push forward.
Right. Like always fight for it, but see where's the limit. And that's like, I guess that's also like a point why I'm like writing professional or doing the video stuff since like 7 years, since 2015, and I never ever had like a really huge injury. Like I had some problems with my shoulder, but that started like way early with like playing soccer and stuff like that. But I guess like that's the point. Like if you really know what you are doing and thinking about what you do, it will save you.
I think it's like the whole risk control and knowing yourself enough to know, like you said, when to push and when to hold back. Because I think you see a lot of good athletes that are really good, but they push too far and they don't understand their own capabilities, and that can make them get in a lot of trouble when they try and do something they know they can't really do, but they try and do it anyway, and then that's when you get injuries and shit turns bad pretty quick.
Yeah, completely, yeah.
Because you're saying you've been pretty injury free over your whole career.
Yeah, completely. Like I've never broken something.
Really?
Yeah.
See, that blows me away when I talk to athletes, especially at your level or like any of our levels here, and like you hear about people that have not broken a bone. I'm just like, oh my God. Like I feel like I've been lucky, and I've still broken wrists and my heel, and I still feel like I've been pretty lucky considering. But I know some people that, man, like they just always hurt themselves, and I was like, maybe you need to change your approach, because this isn't obviously working if you've got that many injuries.
Yeah. I guess it's a little bit different, like in World Cup racing, because like you have that one weekend where you have like be prepared, and like you have to go all in at this weekend. And when I do like a video project, I plan it for like month.
Yeah, it's
like,
a controlled environment.
Yeah, right. And if I'm there and I'm not feeling it, I won't do it. But if you're on the race and you're not feeling it, and you're last man standing,
you've got to go down.
You got to go down.
You've got to throw everything at it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. It's like you can make your environment suit what your strengths are. Where we are, even though we're racing a World Cup and that is our strength, like if it starts raining, for example, and you're terrible in the rain, you're a dry rider, but you're the last man down, it's raining, you've got to kind of ride it beyond what you think you're capable of because of that pressure and all that. And that can create fear. Like that can be something you've got to overcome. And like, just for example, at Val d'Isole recently, like I think a lot of top athletes, including myself, I was scared. Like it was a really scary race, and just overcoming that fear and blocking that out to do that job that you're paid to do is like, sometimes like, I don't know if you have this, but sometimes I'll surprise myself with how I can disassociate fear from what I'm doing. Like for example, at Ligier World Champs, I had a massive crash first run race day morning, like tomahawk cartwheel, winded myself, got up, felt my body out, or I'm somehow okay, hop back on my bike, 2 seconds later I'm back up to speed doing the next section. And it's just like, after the race I was like that's not normal. That's not normal at all. And I think a lot of athletes, especially like, I think freestyle athletes are probably like people that do joyride and stuff like that. I think they can do it even better than downhill athletes, because they're in front of this huge crowd and you just crash a double backflip. You've got to push right back up, and then you've got to go do the same thing again. And like that blows me away, like how you can put that behind you on such a large stage and then just go and do it all over again. Like mentally, that's like, how do you recover from that and then go and do it? It blows me away
completely.
Do you feel like you've even with that, because you do similar stuff where like you're obviously going to have a crash or something, but it's like you just block it out and then get on with the job? Do you find that something that you've had to work at, or you've always kind of been like, oh, it doesn't matter, I'll nail it now, and then you can do it? I
guess the most important thing for me was to think about why that crash happened, to learn about it. Because like always when you make mistakes, it has a reason, and you should learn out of it. And that was the first thing I thought about it, but then like went all in again. Yeah. But what did you say before? That's like pretty interesting, because like that overcoming that fear, that you're pretty impressed how that really works. Because like also like the whole strategy, like how I overcome my fear, like with that 4 questions, is like I always had that in mind, and I already wrote it down, like even way before or even years or month before my world record. But then at the moment where I was standing there with a motorcycle, and like I thought, yeah, I had that 4 questions, and like everything was okay, and I saw like, yeah, there will be no fear. And it was like that, like for sure. I was sitting there on a behind a motorbike, and I was so excited to do it, and it was like 0% fear, like zero. And it was like high intense. It was like everything needs to be good at this moment. Like there was 0% fear. Like I was completely in my tunnel, and I was so fascinated that like all the theory in before like worked out like so
perfect,
good. There's like I was pretty impressed about that, because like you can talk a lot, like you know what I mean, like we can talk a lot about feel, like how it works, but even like this shit really worked, and it's like it was so cool.
I think it's just like the preparation you put into the thing that you're trying to overcome. Like if you can put good preparation, and it takes work, like it takes a lot of work. I think people see you where you are now and what you're doing is like, oh, you don't have that fear. But like we all, like, yes, in that moment you didn't have it, but you didn't have it but because of the preparation you put in. You had a year of work leading up to that to overcome that. And I thought about it today, because you know how he did the presentation in front of everyone?
Yeah.
Like, I don't know if I told you, but when I was a kid, I was terrified of public speaking. I couldn't stand up in front of a group of it. I was petrified of it, and I hated it, because it was a fear that I lived with every day. And I'd go to school and I'd have to stand up to do like a speech or a presentation. I would freeze up. I felt sick. I felt physically sick. Yeah. And then today, like, I had a bit of fear before I got up, but I was like excited to do it. And then it was funny. People laughed. I felt good. And I was like, sweet. And then we won the thing. And I was like, for me to look at myself, just say my 11-year-old self could see me in front of, and this is in front of like world champions, people that I've looked up to, like, and it's just like to overcome that was like a big win for me, just to be able to do that. But it's like the preparation that I've had with like doing interviews at World Cups, doing the podcast now, like I've created an environment for myself to defeat the fear, or like or have the preparation to overcome the fear. And it's so cool, like you said, when you can find something that was like crippling through fear that then you can do easily and it makes you feel good. Oh man, like if you can help someone overcome their fear, and then it's so empowering, and you get so much strength from that. And I'm sure that's how you've felt when you've done these things as well. It's like you make fear your bitch kind of thing, and it's cool. It's really cool.
Like, and that's so cool to see. Like, with like the academy I have, it's like we talk so much about that fear thing and like becoming like mindset and stuff like that. And it's like the greatest thing to see people like overcoming their fear and even like doing it, like, because like making a photo with a superstar or even like a writer like us, it's cool to say like, hey, you are inspiring me, great. But if a junior comes to you and say like, hey, I overcome that fear because of you, and I did that, it's like that's like the best feeling ever. Like I love that.
It's so real, isn't it? It's so real. Like you've helped in a positive way, and it's like you don't know how that is going to impact their life, and it will impact their life. Forever. Yeah, and it's just like you plant a tree or something, and it's like you might not be there, but the thing keeps growing and it's growing in a positive way. Yeah, it's really cool the way you can, and I think that's a really cool part of our job and that's the reason I really enjoy doing this podcast. Is I feel like it's like such a good platform to encourage and inspire and really push good ideas, especially to people like, younger kids, because I know a lot of younger kids listen to this, and I feel like you said, like, if you can impact their life in a positive way moving forward, it's like everyone wins. Like it's such a cool, and it's so easy for us now with social media and how we can distribute it. It's insane.
Because like the cool thing and like maybe it is like for everyone who listen to this podcast is like, mountain biking is so much more than just mountain biking, than just riding this bike. Like I always say with like the thing, like if you're learning a new trick on a mountain bike, do you just try it once?
Yeah.
No, you don't. Do you give up? No, not really. You try and try hard till you make it. And in life, like, just take that thing from mountain biking to real life.
Yeah.
And like, talk to girls and make things and go for it and try it. And even if you lose once, try it again.
Yeah.
And don't be afraid of like doing like things no one ever have done before, or even like your family says like, oh, I wouldn't do that because like you have a safe job, but your passion is something different. Then go for it, man. What can happen? What can happen? Like nothing.
It builds a lot of resilience, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like it teaches you that if you fail, get back up, go again, keep going forward, do what you love. Like it's like the culture of mountain biking is a very positive, uplifting environment and culture to be a part of. Like you said, it's more than just riding your bike. It's it teaches you so many life skills that then you can put back into it, which is insane.
I definitely have to listen to like some podcasts of you, like because like you like there are so many interesting people in there. So like it's like so cool to hear like pros. Going in there.
That's a lot.
Pros like going in there and like seeing how they feel about their sport and how they what they have learned in their sport and what they want to give like to all the people out there. Like that's so interesting. So I'll definitely to hear in the podcast.
Oh, sick.
Yeah.
I wanted to touch as well, because obviously you've got a lot of passion about inspiring and helping kids. So you have your academy, which you touched on the other night. So this was something that you've wanted to do for a while, and it's an online academy that kids or anyone can. Is it for kids, or kind of anyone can sign up for it?
Kind of anyone.
Anyone can sign up for it if they want. And you've got 12 employees now. Yeah. And I'll let you explain it, but what I got, it's an online based course, and it kind of just helps you with all aspects of becoming a rider, whether it be learning tricks, getting sponsors, learning how to ride better, presenting yourself better to sponsors, all of that. That's kind of the basis.
Creating content,
creating content, everything. How did that come about, and what's your goal with that now?
That's like a cool story, because in 2015, when like everything started with our videos, we always thought about, hey, let's make an app with like every trick in there. That could be so cool. And that was always like in my mind, like, hey, one day when we have time, like I will go for an app with like every trick in there. And I was like, we always know that it's gonna be a lot of work to do. And then like in 2017, 18, 19 or 20, I had with my clothing brand my own team riders, and it was so cool, like to help the team riders, in German, to help the team riders to become sponsors, or to help them making good videos, and to sponsor them, to help them. And it was so cool to see what they reached, like how cool the videos turned out. And then I said like, hey, I should definitely go for it. I should do it, because like, why can I make it like a professional, like a platform where like everyone can learn what I have learned in my career, and like, why can I give it to like everyone? And then 2 years ago I started creating like the Senders Academy, and it was like, there's like every trick in there you can think about it on mountain biking, even like from like body position to front flipping, like everything, but also like everything about mindset. Because like for me, it's like, if you watch a YouTube tutorial, cool, the coach say and now backflip, turn back, congrats. But if I'm not if I don't have the mindset to turn back, how should that work?
Yeah, how to prep yourself to actually go
Right.
through with it. Yeah.
Right. And then I come with the idea to make it like also like the part with mindset in there. And then like, oh yeah, sponsors. Hey, we have to talk to people how it works with sponsors, how it really works.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like becoming so huge, and we're like around 200 videos in there. And yeah, it's pretty successful. And
How many athletes or how many people have signed up now? as part of it?
we started 3 months ago, so it's online 3 months ago, and we already have like 220, 230 guys in there, like
It's
growing
quite
20 to 20 guys a week.
And what's the name of it? Sorry.
Senders Academy, like
Zend-
for sending it,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
to pushing like pretty hard.
Yeah.
And like the riders in there are like the senders.
Yeah.
Yeah, like the cool thing about is, and I never thought that the progression of all the riders in there is like huge.
Mm.
I'm in the scene like since 2015 and like doing this kind of stuff. And yeah, I've seen doing a man or a kid doing a wheelie in like 2 or 3 days, but the progression in there,
Is massive.
how good they are riding, and like with our method, we have a method how we learn new tricks,
Mm.
and that works so good, like so good.
Yeah.
And it's the coolest thing I've ever had. And like last week or weekend, we had our first festival, like from the Sanders Academy. Like I've never seen something like that. Like I've been to many festivals, I've been to many events with like autogram sessions and signing sessions and riding, but there was like another level because like they are really
They're
pushing.
progressing so quick.
Yeah, and like they are so motivated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's such a cool thing because it's like something that I think we're missing in mountain biking for sure. Like you see in motocross, they have motocross
Yeah.
schools where
Right.
kids go, like obviously in every other sport, like soccer, football,
Yeah.
all that like in America, like they've literally, you go to school to learn your sport.
Yeah.
And then the education side's kind of like an add-on, where with mountain biking, it's like, even when I went to school, it was like, what do you mean you want to be a mountain biker?
Yeah,
That's not a profession. That's not a job where like kind of, yes,
Yeah.
it is. And yes, it
Yeah,
can
right.
be. And if you can like make a school like that or an academy, and it's not seen as like, oh, you're just wasting your time. It's like, no, this can be a proper job.
Yeah.
This is how you like market yourself. This is how you learn new tricks. This is how you integrate your social media with your other social media, like
Yeah.
YouTube and Instagram and TikTok and whatever else there is.
Yeah.
And like, that's a real skill that we're not being taught. And that because when I first became a pro athlete, man, no one gives you the guidebook on how to do it.
You're right.
You make it up as you go, and
Right.
like you do figure it out eventually. But it's like, if I knew that at the start,
Yeah.
would I be way further ahead now?
Yeah.
Like, would that make me progress? Would I be 2-3 years ahead of where I could be?
Yeah.
And that's the thing. It's like, if you can learn from people's mistakes,
Yeah.
you progress so much quicker. And I think that's what
Yeah.
you're giving. Well, I wouldn't say kids, but like whoever wants to join, the opportunity to progress way
Right.
quicker than
Right.
they would normally. And I think that's like so invaluable to have that. And I think it's obviously working already, and it's going to be
Yeah,
something to
right.
see in the future that's going to
Right.
be really cool.
So yeah, that's it. I don't want to make like an advertise out of it because like it's completely in German. So I think most of the guys who are listening to this podcast are like in English. But
I've
like
got some German listeners.
yeah, there are some German. Yeah.
It's even weird, dude. I was like, this podcast, for some reason, I got a notification, and I think it was like one of the top sports podcasts in Slovenia. And I was just like, what? Yeah, it was like
they all come from Kranjska Gora.
yeah, I don't know, man. It was so random. I was like, I just got a thing on like, I don't know what it was on, like my podcast platform, like app, and it's just like, you have been rated like 11th in sporting for Slovenia.
Oh
And
yeah.
I was like, that's random. But yeah, I have a little map of all the countries that download it, and they're at like, Germany's
they're
actually on there
German.
as
Yeah.
well. So
Yeah, for sure. But what I want to say, like, something like the Sanders Academy, like this academy, like it's not on the market, and I don't really understand it because like it's something completely new, and like all this stuff from skiing, like especially in Austria, like from skiing, or in the United States, like with motocross and stuff like that. My vision is to have my own school, like really my own school where you can learn like math and English and
Yeah.
stuff like that, and riding bikes.
Yeah.
And that's my dream. And working on it.
That's a
and
realistic thing though, because there's ski schools.
Yeah, completely.
Ski schools are a thing.
Completely.
It's not like this is like a new concept.
Yeah,
this
right.
is a real thing. The sport you just want to do is just new compared to skiing or football or like any of that stuff. So it's like, it's like a really achievable goal, I think.
And you know what? Like for me, it's like so important for me. I wish I had someone like when I was young, someone who would say like all this stuff to me. Like for sure, like in the Sanders Academy, there's like it's like 100% made from me. Like every script, every video is 100% made from me. And like everything I know, and like everything how we get, if you wanna say like famous. It's like everything in there. How we get the viral videos, how we get the 100 million views. Like there's like everything in there. And like because like if you want, you can learn like you can learn how it's done, and that's like so cool. Like I really I can I guess you can feel it like always. When I'm talking about the Sanders Academy, I get like
you get really excited.
I get like you're
passionate about it. You're really passionate.
talking. Yeah. Like I'm so passionate about it, and it's like good times ahead, and progression of the ride is so cool to see, and I love it.
No, I'm super excited to see where that goes. That's something like I think is gonna bright future. I was gonna ask you as well because I looked through your Instagram the other day and I saw you're a big advocate for ice baths. Is that something you would bring into the school, or would you put that as something that you would encourage people to do? Because I'm a big advocate for ice baths for not only recovery but comes back to the fear thing and overcoming. And I think it's like it condenses. I think ice baths condense learning and fear into a small window. So for example, like when you want to learn something new, whether it be a new language, a new trick, or you have the fear of failing that you have to overcome. When you hop in an ice bath, you have the fear of the cold that you have to overcome, and you come up with these excuses in your head why you shouldn't. It's going to be hard. You could crash. All these things, and you have this internal battle with yourself about how it's not going to work out or how it's going to suck or blah blah blah. Anyway, you finally overcome it to the point where you're like, I'm going to try it. And that might be trying a trick, trying to speak a new language, or in this example, hopping in the ice bath. Yeah. And you hop in the ice bath and it sucks. It's cold. You hate it. You're learning the new trick. You keep crashing. You hate it. You stay in a little bit longer. You keep practicing. It gets a bit better. It gets a bit better. You start to breathe better. You start to focus on the things you need to focus on. Oh, it's not actually that bad now. Oh, I'm starting to land these tricks. Oh, I'm starting to put sentences together. And you're like, oh, it's fine. And then by that 10-minute mark in an ice bath, you're super relaxed. You're enjoying it. If you're learning a trick, you can do the trick now. You're happy. When learning a language, you can speak it clearly. But it's like it condenses that same process down. And that's why I really enjoy ice baths, not just for the recovery side of things, but it's a battle every day. It's overcoming a fear, and it's something that you don't want to do. Like I never am like, yep, I can't wait to hop in a freezing cold bit of water for a while. But every time I hop out, I feel accomplished and I feel good. Right. And is that something you feel a similar way?
Completely the same. Like I don't do ice bath because of recovery or stuff like that. Maybe it will help, but for me, it's just a mental game. Yeah. It's like how you said, like it's every time like you think about, oh, I have to go into the ice bath later. No, and it's like every time, like that's like a cool thing because like it's like the challenge, like every day, like hopping into this ice bath, and you don't really do it. Yeah. But you don't really want to do it. But this is like the challenge, like to make one thing every day you don't want to do. It's like, and it's like so cool. And how you say it, if you hop in, it feels so cold, but if you go out, it's like, you get to the point. It's like great, and you're like a new man. Yeah. And pretty like that because like always like of overcoming that fear every day, all day, and also like going out of the comfort zone. I really like that because like we are always in our own bubble, like doing like, oh hey, I will come home and then like sitting front of the TV station or something like that. Hey, go out of the comfort zone and do something that like that really hurts. Yeah. And that's what I love.
Yeah. No, I think that's a really cool point. And
I guess like that's also like a point where you feel that you live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like it sounds a little bit crazy or like but it's so cool that like doing it like every day and like it's
Yeah,
cool.
and that's the thing. I think if you can get up and do something you really don't want to do, and then I think it just convinces you like, oh, I didn't want to do that, and I did it, and I feel better for it. So then the next thing that you might have to do, which might be studying or going to the gym or something else, you'd be like, I don't really want to do that, but I felt good from doing that thing that I didn't want to do, so I'm going to go do it.
Yeah.
And I think it just starts that, like, it gets the wheels moving and gets you in motion.
Yeah.
Because I think that's like, I think high achievers and people that really accomplish stuff, they're just really good at doing the things they don't want to do.
Right.
And they do it that often that then it becomes a thing they do want to do.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I don't think anyone, well, there might be some people, but a lot of people like, I don't always want to train. I don't always want to do the things I don't want to do, but you get really good at doing them. And then when you get better at doing them, it's like, for me, I know when I'm in off-season mode and I'm not training properly and I'm eating kind of crap, like, I don't want to go to the gym. But if I'm going to the gym every day, you get in a routine, you get in a rhythm. It's like, I want to go there. I want to lift weights. I feel good. Like, you feel stronger. It's like that repetition of overcoming something, which is, I think, if you can make your whole life around that, it's, man, you can overcome a lot.
And you know what? Like, the two most inspiring person in my life I met were because I pushed myself and I got in contact with them. And like doing this phone calls you don't want to do, like, and writing the messages you don't want to write. And out of that, I got in contact with like two of very inspiring persons who are like also like part of the whole game now. As like, do your fucking calls you don't want to do, like do it. And like I can remember the day, like the one guy who's like the most inspiring person in my life. Do
you want to mention his name, or do you want to keep it?
You don't really will know it. It's like a big entrepreneur from Germany.
He'll know it though. He could listen. We got some German listeners. Got some German listeners.
He's like Pascal Fay. His name is Pascal Fay.
Yeah.
And it was like pretty interesting because like he's also like a shareholder in the Sanders Academy.
Yeah.
And I was always like listening to his podcast, to his YouTube videos, because like he's like a huge entrepreneur, like, and with like a big mindset and talking about the mindset stuff and like that entrepreneurship kind of stuff. And I listened to his videos, and he said one day like, what I want to do, like, is it like working the whole day, or am I, or do you want to go to Whistler to shred my bike? And I was like, you are riding bikes? That was pretty cool. And then I got to Instagram to stalk him on Instagram, because like I didn't follow him on Instagram. And then I saw like, oh hey, he is following me. That is cool. And then I was,
it's a little win, isn't it?
Yeah. That was weird. Like, it was so cool. And then I was sitting. I can remember that moment when I was sitting there and thought about, should I write him or should I not write him? And then the first day I didn't do it, and the second day I wrote him, and it's like 3 years ago I wrote him, and he's now in the team.
Yeah, it's great.
It's like so cool.
A friend of mine used to say a no is better than a nothing.
Yeah.
So it's like, if you ask and they say no, you know.
Yeah.
If you say nothing, you never know.
Yeah,
and
right.
I don't want to die not knowing, so just ask the question. It's going to be awkward if it's a no, but you understand and on to the next.
Yeah,
like, keep moving forward. But yeah, you never know. Like, you never know.
Yeah, right.
And like, obviously, that fear was holding you back, and you overcome it. Now he's a part of the team that you're so passionate about. That's really cool.
And it's like, I guess that's the most important thing. Like, go for the calls you don't want to do, and go for the things you don't want to do, because like, maybe not now, maybe not in 1 week, maybe not in 1 year, but someone it will definitely pays off.
Just keep going forward.
Yeah.
I was going to ask you this is kind of a bit off topic to that, but because you started doing videos with Fabio, and that was a thing that I guess like launched both of your careers. And did you ever expect it to get as big as it has, or was it kind of just like you were hanging out with a buddy, having fun, and it kind of just turned into this monster that it is today with the amount of followers and videos, and it's grown quite quickly for how big it is now for both of you? Did you expect that, and did it kind of go quicker than you thought, or how did it all play out?
You know, like our dream as the guys where we were before were like doing this studying and all the kind of shit. It was, we dreamed of being like a professional rider or something like that, and dreamed of having a lot of followers. But you know well, like when we started, there were only like 2 ways how to be a pro in riding bikes. The first thing was becoming a World Cup racer, and the second thing was to do like competitions and like slopestyle and stuff like that. There were nearly no one like doing that video kind of stuff, and just that social media stuff. And so we created our own niche where we are in there now. And that was like pretty cool, because like we completely slipped in there, because like, yeah, we dreamed of having a lot of followers, yeah, but not that amount, you know, like we are reaching so many guys with that,
and millions
with
of
that,
people.
yeah, with that, I don't want to say with that shitty videos, you know, like it's like, these are just like videos. We did like over years, we did like videos, and so many guys like following us, and we inspired so many guys, and that is crazy. Like that you can grow with videos, grow so fast. But the thing is like, we started in 2015, and it went like so fast. It went so fast. Like we started with the first videos, first episodes, like the 6 series.
I think
first
I think the
episode.
timing was perfect, because that's when the Instagram was starting to really pick up momentum. Like obviously YouTube had been around forever, but that's when I think there was a big shift to content.
Right.
And I think you guys fell into it in the perfect time.
Right. And also like it was the perfect time.
Yeah.
Because like also like the mountain bike industry growth.
Yeah.
The whole mountain bike industry grows like with bikes, but even with like bike parks. Because like when we started, like my nearest bike park was like 6 hours away from my home.
Yeah.
And, like everything grows, and we're like, we had the perfect momentum. That was like everything played together, and then we made like all like the big videos, then like everything works together, and I'm pretty stoked about how that everything turned out.
That was perfect place, perfect time. Hey.
Yeah, right.
Did you?
But the thing I always thought about. Everyone knows this. Like a lot of guys know the 6 series.
Yeah.
No, a lot of guys know the 6 series. But there's no one who is trying to copy that thing, because like normally like in any other niche, like all the guys try to copy things to be like successful. Like no one tried it the same. Like even with the big videos, like if you look like in the German market, in like German speaking market with like mountain bike riders, there are the same 5 or 6 pro riders who have like a lot of following in Austria, on Germany and Switzerland since 6 or 7 years. There's no one new in there. Yeah, one, Corbinia, my best friend, but he's the only one.
Yeah.
And that's like, I don't know why, because like social media is growing and growing. You have TikTok and everything. Like you can go viral, but no one is there, and I don't know why.
Yeah, it's just kind of plateaued out, hasn't it, with the top guys?
Yeah.
Because it's been something for me as well that I find super interesting. It's like for a World Cup level, like we have like obviously Andreas Kobe has been at the top, and David Trummer, but before them, and even I find it surprising they're like the 2 top Austrian guys. There's Max for Germany, but we don't have any real German top riders, and it baffles me that we have very little top European riders. Like there's many, like yes, obviously there's France and there's England, but like there's not that many Italians, there's not that many Austrians, there's not many Germans, there's like no one from Croatia, no one from Greece. Like it's I don't get, like, why is there so many fast Australians? Like we live on the other side of the world and we don't have mountains. Like we have some hills, and I'm like, and then even New Zealand, man, for example, South Africa, it's like, why is it that we race predominantly in Europe, but then there's not top European athletes.
right,
And it's
right.
like, I guess it's the same thing for what you asked the question. I was like, why isn't there more people doing it?
Yeah.
They've seen the success.
Yeah.
They live
Yeah,
here.
right,
It's
right.
like, why isn't someone going, okay, let's grab a hold of this and like make it work? And
Yeah, right.
yeah, I'm baffled by it as well. I don't get it. It's like,
yeah. It's
eh,
like I talk with so many guys about that because like I don't get it. Like it could be like it's possible. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah.
And like we are like the same 6 or 7 guys since 2016.
Yeah.
Like that's like crazy.
and it's not like, and you guys are doing it so well. It's not like, it's like the proof's in the pudding. Like it's there. It's like you can do it well.
Yeah,
we
yeah.
are doing it well. We have a massive following. We do have a cool job.
Yeah.
Why don't you try this? And it's,
Yeah.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I'm really not sure why that's not more.
But also in the racing, like what you said, I didn't thought about that. Like Andy Kolb and like David Trummer, like they are also like in the business. Like Andy like was pushing hard this season, like pretty hard. But he's also like World Cup racing since 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
He's like also like a long time in the scene.
Yeah.
Like they're like no one new in there. Like Germany the same. Like Max is also like riding since.
Yeah, so there's no new
right.
blood in it kind of thing. Yeah, like they've even like they have been around for a while now, and like they have been like building and now they've kind of peaked, but there's not that many guys behind them that are coming through, which is like I don't know why. I really don't know why.
I guess like we only had like one guy who's new and young, who's like coming into World Cups now. It's like Noah Hoffman, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's like also like the only one, yeah.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
But it's quite strange as well because France has got no one in their junior ranks right now. They are dominating in elite. They have arguably the top 3 fastest guys in the world right now. And then there's no juniors. Well, there is juniors, but just no fast juniors.
Oh, yeah?
And then there's a gap, but then there's like younger than juniors, like 14, 15, 16. There's a heap of fast ones. So there's almost like this generational gap that's about to be filled by these younger kids that are 14, 15, 16. But it's just like, why is there a gap?
Yeah.
Like, why is there a gap? And it's so interesting to me. I was like, because obviously I think to become a really good athlete or really good at your sport, you need people to bounce off.
Yeah.
And I feel like if there's not that person to like pave the way and give you a target to aim for, it's like it's hard for everyone to be lifted.
Yeah, right.
It's what's the like there's a saying where it says like I think it's like high tides lift all ships.
Yeah.
So it's like if someone starts succeeding like you did or Fabio or something, then the group around you, everyone gets lifted, whether it be from like progression pushing each other or just the fact that you've got more eyes on one of you, so then that's more eyes on everyone.
Yeah.
And I think in the French mountain biking world, that's why like I think Loic Bruni was I think I don't like he gets a lot of credit, but I think he is one of the big reasons that the French are so successful. And obviously like they had Fabien before that and everything, but I think he played such a good role, and he also showed that you could have fun and be chilled, and I think he changed the whole perspective of like French races because they were all serious and not fun, and he came out and he was fun, he joked, he had a good time, and then he was becoming world champion, and everyone was like, oh shit, we can be that guy. And then I think Amaury fed off that as well and did it, and Loris, and it's like this new generation of French guys that are the fastest in the world, but they've changed the whole image of what French downhill races were. And I think Loic had a big part. I think they all did, but I think Loic in particular was like the spearheading that movement. I think it's quite cool.
Completely,
But I think it's like, I think you guys have done that obviously in the more free ride video content creation kind of world. And I guess it's like, but I'm surprised that no one else has seen that, like you said, and try to recreate that and copy it and like feed off what you've done and then build themselves up. It's just like, but I'm not sure if maybe it's going to come soon and there's going to be a new generation of kids that are like a year behind or a few years behind.
You know, like I don't really know, like there are so, you know it too, like there are so many fast young guys, like 12-year-old who like destroy like everything. Like I made like for myself a little record. Maybe you know CV Swisladis. It was like a bike park where I did 50 suicide no hands in one run.
Really?
And a week after, a 12-year-old guy wrote me on Instagram that he made 45.
55. 65.
54. Sorry, 54.
So
like
just
5 lesser than me. And I was like, hey man, you were 12. Like,
yeah,
you
stop
know,
doing
like,
that.
You
Stop.
are 12.
Stop. Yeah.
Like when I think back, like when I was 12, I couldn't even walk straight, you know?
Yeah.
And
They're already
do,
at that
like,
level.
Yeah, it's like crazy.
I'm just gonna close this window real quick.
Yeah, it's like, but what I wanted to say, like, I guess we also had a conversation yesterday, or was it with you? No, I don't dare think. I think it was with Danger Home.
Yeah.
We talked about that. In my opinion, like, there are a lot of guys who try to make videos, but the problem is they just want to stand out in the scene. So it's all about just making an edit or a video where they write in style and making like completely new tricks, or not completely new, but tricks you've already seen before, but who are like pretty stylish. And then they make their edit. But that's not the way how like we did it, and that's not the way how we made it so successful, you know what I mean? Because like we also have like a lot of followers out of the mountain bike scene, and because like if you want to reach like a lot of people also outside of mountain biking, or even if you want to reach that amount of people that are not in the mountain bike scene, you have to tell stories. And even like with My Dream Girl, for example, the video is like, it's good riding, but it's like combined with like a story like everyone knows.
Yeah.
And I guess that is something what misses. Like everyone tries to make like the next huge edit.
Yeah.
But no one is like thinking more about it. And also like the next thing is like what Fabio and me did. We don't even just booked a videographer who make like hey, let's go and film this video and this edit. We always saw like, hey, it's like the action must be seen at the best. You know what I mean? Like if like, for example, if like to this side it looks shitty, to this side it looks beautiful, but the trick looks way better, or the action looks way better to this side, I will film from this side, definitely.
Yeah.
And the
has
video has to be. And if you have like a normal filmmaker, like it's always like, oh yeah, it looks beautiful right there, we make it here.
Yeah.
That was the point where like, I guess that was really special. Like Fabio and me, we said, hey, the video, we make the video. Like, the filmer doesn't, like, you direct. Right.
You're the director. That's the thing. It's like when a videographer and a writer come together, I feel like the videographer films it how they want it to be filmed, and you write it as the writer. Where I feel like you and Fabio are the writer and the director, and that's what people are like. Yes, the filming is great, but the director is the one that directs the whole movie, and that's it gives you the final product.
Yeah, right. Like in, if I would say like in German, I would say like I always say like this thing that if you have like all the filming guys, they just want to make cool movies to show it on their Facebook group on Filmemacher Österreich in Germany. It's like filmmakers also in Germany, like Facebook group. Oh, they made a new video. Like, oh, look how beautiful it is, and how the transitions are. I don't care about transitions and how beautiful it is. I care about the action, the story. And that's the most important thing. And like also like if you go to companies, I guess like they just make or a lot of them just make commercials because they look beautiful. Hey, you have to make something that sells, you know what I mean? And I guess like we had that kind of thing in our head to make it like that. And I guess like that's the point, like what I see that is missing with like a lot of guys like who do videos.
I think when you say storytelling, like that is a massive thing that is, I feel like, is almost lost in social media. Like it's a time now where it's junk food, it's quick content, it's 10 seconds of like raw. I know you don't agree fully with this, but like I feel like a lot of it, not all of it, is like really quick, like hitting a berm really cool and that's going to get heaps of views.
Yeah.
But like you say, if you can tell a story, then I think you get relatability by people that don't know mountain biking. Like, for example, my mum could watch it and she understands the whole chasing your dream girl. It's like, oh, he's trying to catch the girl. That's kind of cool. That's romantic or that's whatever. And she can relate to that story, where she can't relate to like a mountain. Like, yes, she knows mountain biking because I do it, but it does, like like your audience becomes so much smaller because like mountain biking is a niche market.
Right.
But if you can do videos that then can be not accepted, what would you say, like understood by by everyone, it's like that's why you're getting 100 million views, because people are like watching that story. And I think, like, for example, like Danny McCaskill, when he does his videos, I think that's the thing. He it's a story.
Yeah, right.
And he adds this like insane bike skills to a story, and that's the thing. It's like you don't just have one; you've got to have both.
Yeah, and also like what Danny made pretty good, and what we also try to is like to bring the action to everyone. Like what do I mean with that? If you do like a 20-meter double backflip in the woods, like a normal guy can't really imagine how big this is. You know what I mean? Because like he has never ever seen before like a jump in the woods who is like so big. But if you are going to jump like a stair set, he already walked up. It's like, oh man, I know how big this is because like I walk on this shit like every day. Like this is immense. Like, and that's like the thing. Like we also like brought our stuff into the city, and to everyone that they can think about. Oh yeah, that is big. Because like in a mountain you don't really, you can imagine. Like if I think about my mom, it's like always my mom is like lying in front of the screen and watching like YouTube videos, and you can see it exactly with her. Like if there is something in the woods, for her it's like, oh yeah, you jumped down there. Yeah. And if it's something like it's like a 2-meter gap in the city, she's like, oh yeah, you didn't do that.
You can relate to it. Hey? Yeah, it's so much more relatable. Yeah. It's like, it's all like really simple stuff, isn't it? But it's like actually trying to like, it's relatability, storytelling, and action.
But I guess like But I guess like the point was like storytelling. Like for my opinion, like not really a lot of guys don't really want to do it. Like because like also like my team riders, like a lot of them, I always say to them, hey, try to tell a story. And they say like, I want to make an edit, you know, like an stylish, cool riding edit. And it's like, yeah, that's cool. Like for sure, that's really, really cool. But if you want to make a living out of it, that's maybe, you can do it if your name is Brandog or Samanak. Yeah. But not if you're not in there.
Not everyone, not everyone can pull that off. Do you find as well with when we talk about before, like when you're doing your video stuff, like you obviously have a team of people around you, whether it be videographers or other writers and stuff. Have you obviously chosen that team quite wisely, or like you've put a lot of effort into the people how you want it? And I guess it's like you obviously have your filmer now, and that's someone that you've worked with for a long time. It's like, what was like the kind of how did that all come about? And like, do you find it quite good to keep like quite a small circle of friends to work together, because it just works well? Yeah.
The most important thing for me was to always to have like my filmer completely living with me, not just working with me, the filmer living with me, because like we have to vibe together, and we have to be like best friends, and we have to sit on a couch in the evening and like thinking about stuff. And that was like the most important thing. And also like the other thing, what was pretty important for me, that that we can talk together and he can change his style. Because like, I don't want to have a filmmaker who just does his filmmaking stuff. I want to have him to understand what I think, to make him feel like me, and to create that stuff that works. You know what I mean? It's like hard to say.
Yeah, like
But-
adapt and change.
Yeah, right.
'Cause
Adapt and change. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And like because like that's pretty hard because like a lot of filmmakers they have their that's like good. They have
Yeah.
their thing and their style.
They
And
have
they
a f-
go
They, have, a,
like
they
that.
have a formula, and if it's worked from
Yeah,
now,
right.
it'll work
Yeah,
later.
right.
But yeah, I get what
Right.
you mean.
And I want to have like a filmer who understands me and who want to do it like that because he sees, oh, that was successful. And there was like two things that are pretty successful. I don't care about like at the moment of like maybe the most talented filmer ever. But yeah, I don't think that you have to be the talented one. You have to like work pretty hard, like being a pretty good friend and understanding like everything how it works. And then that's it. Like how you said, I think a good edit who will go viral won't work if you just call another filmer who, hey, let's do a video together. That won't really work. Yeah, that it will get a cool edit to watch. It's cool, but it won't go viral and it won't make your career.
It won't have the best result,
Yeah.
will it? No, I agree.
I guess like it will make a good it will make a good output for you.
But it won't be the best it could be.
Not only that, it's like I guess you have to think about two things. And the first thing is, do I want to make the video for me that I can show my style, my writing, my talent and stuff like that?
Yeah.
Or do I want a video to make to be successful, to get followers and to make a living out of it? And that are like two different things.
That's I feel like a dilemma that artists all around the world, because like this is obviously your art, racing's my art.
Yeah.
It's like, do you want to create art for yourself that fills your soul and heart and body and mind and you're proud of, or do you want to create art that is to be consumed and spread? And that's that different thing. It's like you have to, but I think you can do both. I really think you can do both.
I guess you can combine it. Definitely. Yeah.
But I think that's a dilemma that a lot of artists face all the time. It's
Right.
like, do I create something that I enjoy and I love but might not be received as well?
Yeah.
Or do I create something I know will be received really well but I don't feel
Right.
Like I said, I think it's like it's give and take.
Yeah,
and
right.
you've got to understand, like you said before, like how much you put in and how much you leave back. And maybe you like, it's crazy sometimes. Like I was talking to you, I created a video that I really enjoyed but it got no views.
Right.
And then I've created a video that I don't care about and it gets a lot of views, and it's just like, what? Like, but I guess it's all give and take, isn't it?
Yeah. But yeah, to talk like, I guess we have talked a lot about this video thing, but that's like 100% the thing. Like no one new comes, because I think the problem is like, or the problem, they just want to do like art for themselves and like to make art in a mountain bike scene. But if you want to make a living out of it, and if you're gonna want to go viral, like you have to go another way.
Yeah. You've got to be, like I said, like, change and adapt. And
right.
I think that's the thing. Yeah. I think a lot of people get stuck in their ways and they don't change.
Yeah. But that shouldn't say that like we don't, it wasn't art for us to make our videos or we didn't enjoy it. We definitely enjoyed it a lot.
Yeah.
Like it was like so cool, like every video. But the thing is like, we just had it. It doesn't take a lot, you know, like just you need a story.
Yeah.
And like maybe a story and like a good filmer. Like these are like 2 points, and I guess like then it will work out a lot of better. Like imagine like the best writers out there tell a sick story with their videos, man.
Yeah, they blow up. They
like
go nuts.
Look at this. Like my dream girl is like at the moment I guess like nearly 50 million views. And it's like that is like, it's like pretty good writing. Yeah, it is pretty good writing, but man, it's like,
can you ever comprehend that amount of people? Like when you say 50 million people have seen you ride a bike, like that's twice the amount of Australia.
Yeah.
So everyone in Australia times 2 has watched you ride a bike.
Yeah, right.
Like those numbers are just like
insane. Yeah.
Like,
and you have to think about it. That are like views on YouTube. There are like a lot of more views on Instagram, TikTok.
Yeah, it's everywhere. Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah,
I guess like it comes together to like 100 million views, and it's like that is like insane for a video for like just because of that story.
Yeah.
And I guess like everyone can make it. Like this is the best example.
Yeah. It's just like, it's uncomprehendable almost how many people have actually seen that.
And like the interesting thing is like a lot of companies they also talk in impressions.
Yeah, how many impressions it? Yeah.
I can't really say how many. Like these are like millions of
billions and billions and billions.
Like if you want, like we can have a look.
Man, check, because I find it blows me away that like we do live in a world where like our like value is so put down to views and impressions and clickbait and all this stuff, and it's like, yes, it is a form of money now in a way. Like views equal this amount of money or this amount of it's a real like. It's an actual commodity now, which is, it's crazy to think that wasn't something realistic 7, 8, 9, 10 years ago, and now it's like such an important part of athletes' careers and businesses and consumerism, and it's insane.
I should have had my laptop here.
We'll crunch the numbers.
Yeah, because like my dream girl is already on. But the interesting thing is like, look at this. Like my dream girl is still making 300,000 views a month.
Still, and how long?
Still,
how long ago did you
I
make
guess
that?
it was in 2017.
And it's still your top video.
Yeah, it's still my top video. Like 300k a month.
It just keeps churning over.
Yeah.
How much money do you reckon you've made off that one video?
Not that much.
Not that.
You can say like 1,000 euros per million.
Okay.
So
still not bad. Like but yeah.
Yeah, but if you see it over 5 years, it's not.
Yeah, it's not ridiculous. Yeah, I get it.
Because like of the amount of views.
Yeah.
You know, like the amount of views, like intense and like, I guess like if you go to YouTube, like you can make good money if you make a huge amount of views.
Yeah.
But if you make 1 million views, like 1 million views is like really that's like a lot.
Yeah.
But 1,000 euros for 1 million views, like.
Yeah. It's a lot of views to get, and like the return's not that good.
Yeah.
It's like my most viewed video is not even 100,000. So it's like it's not
like
easy to do.
$100 or $100.
Nothing.
Yeah.
A thing I wanted to touch on, because we talked about this as well the other day. So obviously you're seen by so many people and you're so in the spotlight, and from the outside, I guess it's like you've got all these people around you, but we talked about like being at the pointy end of any sport comes with it a certain level of isolation. And you were saying like your life is put into these videos, into your academy and everything, and it's like you feel kind of lonely in the sense that like you do this, and it takes so much energy that it is almost hard to live a normal life and be a super social person. And when you said that, like I related to that a lot, because I feel very similar in the sense that I race over here for 4 months. I'm on a French team. That's kind of isolating. Yes, you have your other races, but then also with your other races, we're all in it together, but you're also very isolating. You isolate yourself just because you focus in on the race. And it's funny, man, like I've raced with some people that I've never really talked to, and we see each other every third or fourth weekend of the year, and we no one else in the world can relate to me like you can, but we don't talk. It's like this weird, like you say hey and there's no bad blood, but it's like there's so many races that just go like hey and that's it. And it's just like I feel like racing in general, and then racing overseas, and then being super competitive, it carries with it isolation. And I think when you said that, I was like, yeah, man, like it can be really lonely. And I'm just wondering like how you deal with that and how you feel about that.
I don't feel lonely, but I feel like it's a way of engagement I put in all of that. Like when we started, like I swear myself, like I quit university. Like my mom and dad, they weren't really happy of that. And then I swear myself that that I will put like all into the thing, like everything, like all I have. And also like it's the same with my girlfriend. when we come together, I say to her like, my job, riding bikes, doing videos, is like priority number one, and like that's hard for her, but my work, my job is like my priority number one, and I I work like all day, every day, and all time. It's like the same with my filmer. It's like he lives for that. Like it's not. We don't have other hobbies. We don't have friends. We just do that.
Yeah.
But I guess like that's also like the thing. How to become successful, I guess, a little bit, because if you completely, if it's your life and if you go all in, like just working for that, like everything will be successful, like every niche. Like if you don't think about everything you want to think about, like it will be successful if you make like 100% of time goes into that.
It becomes an obsession.
Yeah, right.
You obsess by it. You want to. Everything goes into it.
Right.
Do you have points though when like you're saying that like you just got your filming, you're creating, you want that's all you want to do? Is there points when you kind of just like go, I don't want to do any of this anymore. I want to go back to university and be around people, and like, is there like points that you kind of miss that or want to change, or are you kind of so still focused on this is what you want and you're happy to do this?
I'm so happy. So yeah, to say that I'm so happy what I reached. You know what I mean? And that's like, that's I can remember like on the first evening we talked about, would you do it again if you know how much work it is, or how many you have to put in that sport to be successful. And yeah, that's a hard question, because like I guess like for me, if I would have known how much work it is to put in there, maybe I wouldn't have done it. But at the end, I'm so lucky and I'm so glad to put like all the amount of hours in there, because like it's so cool, man. I can like, there are so many guys like I can inspire and who get better persons because of me, because of what I've done. And like to see in their eyes and to see them smiling, like this is like the this
dream,
is the shit. Like, this is the coolest thing. Like at a festival, like at the end when we say like bye bye to everyone, like there were two or three guys were like they had tears in their eyes. And there's like, man, like this is
it's real. There's a lot of fulfillment in that. Like that's like, there's always like, I feel like a lot of things you do in life where you can get true fulfillment, where like your soul feels, you like you feel like a good person. And I feel like that's one of the things you said. Like you said, it's hard, and if you could go back and do it, you might not do it again. But now that you're here, you really appreciate that you have done it. And that you've got something, that what you've gotten out of it is
right. And it's I don't know what about you, but for me it's like,
I have points, man. Sometimes I talk about this, like where sometimes and I guess it's like anyone, like jobs get hard sometimes, and there's points where like I'm just like, I don't want to ride a bike ever again, and I'm just going to go live in my van and go cruise the world and do this. And then there's other parts where I'm coming and it's all working and I'm like, I love this for what it is. But yeah, I go through moments. I'm kind of up and down with it all, but it's just sometimes it's like any job, it can be tough. You can be away from home for 4 months. You can be having a bad relationship with your girlfriend because you're away for so long. You've just had a crash. You're injured. You're in a country no one's speaking your language. It's like it can be tricky. Like I don't think people understand the like homesick's a real thing. And I think it's just not feeling. I think we all want to be accepted, and we all want to feel like we've got our group or our tribe or our safe place. And I think when you're in a country and you don't speak the language and there's all these things, it's like you feel very, like I said, isolated. And that can be something that, for me personally, like I need connection with people. I need to feel wanted. And I feel like I lose that a bit. And it's always been a struggle to race World Cups and then to still keep that momentum and that passion. So,
that's interesting, because like the cool thing on the one hand is like when you make videos, you can the one day you can make a video riding your downhill bike, the other day riding an enduro, then an e-bike, like you can, or even riding a motorbike, or even like doing nothing with like riding.
Yeah.
Like and that's a cool thing, like that I can change a lot, and it's not feeling like a job. It's like, oh yeah, hey, we can make that project. But I guess where we two are a little bit different, I don't need other people.
Yeah,
Like I need my girlfriend, and I need like one other guy who's like always around. It was always like a filmer or one friend, and then like I need my family, where I'm at every second Sunday I'm like with my family, or even like once in a month.
Yeah.
But I don't really need people, because for my point of view, there are like, or maybe I didn't really find the right people.
But even to say
who think the same than me, you know.
But you say you don't need people, but then it comes back to how passionate you get about your academy, and I feel like that to you is like, does your academy feel like that's almost like they're your people? Like they feel like, I feel like your work, the 12 people that work for you and the people that come there, like I feel like that gives you energy and that's uplifting, and obviously even talking about it, the emotion you get from that, like I feel like in a way that would be almost like your base in a way. That's
a cool point. Yeah, that can be, because like when you talk, like I thought about it, then I saw like, why am I like this? Like why don't I really want to talk to other people? Because like I don't want to talk to people who talk about who was the drunkest at the weekend, and who work the whole day and don't like the job, and the girlfriend is shitty and stuff like. I don't care about this shit. Like I wanna talk something good.
But that's what I mean. But when you talk at your academy, that's where even how you explain it before, like you can tell, like just talking about it gets you excited. So obviously that has a strong place in your heart. So I feel like that's your, when you go there, like it would give you energy. But I guess it's like things you don't think about. It's just,
and also like how you said, like all the employees, like they living for it. Like like, we have the guys who are like calling with the senders from the academy. They are called like our team managers, and our team managers, like we have Sasha in there, and Sasha is like a little bit older. He's like 40 or 45, and he's doing social media now. Like he's like doing stories and sharing stories from the senders, and it's like so cool to see. Like and we always make like jokes like, hey, you new influencer and stuff like that. Like he's making such a good job at like motivating new people, and like we are all together. We are living that thing. Like we are really living that thing, and like So you had a good point. I guess that's it. Yeah.
It's part of it. It's funny. Like I think it's because I guess it feels so normal for you just to be in that environment that you wouldn't even think like, oh, these are the people I need, because it's just, but like that's the thing. It's like you have that feeling there, and I think that's something that I feel like is being someone from Australia coming here. It's like it's hard to have that same feeling that you'd get at your academy here, and that's something I want to have here, whether it be on a team or at a place. And I do have it. It's not like I don't have it at all, but it just can get taxing sometimes after so long. So that's just the thing. I'll wrap it up so you can go home soon, but I'm gonna have a few more questions I want to ask you.
That's good. Like I'm pretty like. It's a good talk. So
you're pumped. I got some questions I always ask. If you were going to give advice to it doesn't have to be your kid, but like if you're going to give advice to someone, whether it be writing advice, I normally ask for writing advice, and then I just ask for just life advice. Like if you could see someone, sit down, and you have to get one bit of advice for writing and then one bit of advice for just general life. A lot of the time they seem to be the same, but if you can do one for both, I think that would be cool.
So for the life, it's definitely the point. Everything is possible. Go for it. Because like everything is possible if you go for it. Like it is. Like look at me. Like I'm not the best writer. Definitely not. But I made my way with like hard work. And that's it. Like everything is possible, and if you are passionate in it, you can like doing like nearly everything. Like for sure you can do it. Like with the internet, you have like any possibilities now what you want to do, and it's like that's insane. Like go for it. Like you can do everything. And for riding bikes, I guess I would say the same, because
just try things and
just try things, and but also like I have another one for riding bikes. I guess the most important thing with riding bikes, or when it becomes more intense, follow your main passion and being like lucky on the bike or happy on the bike like every day, because like that there was also a point in my life. It was so cool to ride like as a non-professional, like just normal riding, like every weekend, shredding pretty hard. But when it became a job, it was another riding. It was a different riding, and it's like it's hard to get that happiness back while riding. And I guess like rides like that we did this week, they're like pretty good to get that happiness back. And I guess I would say like always try to make something what makes you happy and what you have fun in it, because then you make it good. Because like I guess I don't know it, but I guess there are a lot of World Cup racers who don't really enjoy racing.
Yeah. I think they started off enjoying it, and then it becomes a job, and they're trying to find out how to make it enjoyable again. I think there is a lot that are out there, and I forgot to touch on, because you used to race downhill, and you were quite good at downhill. I think you got second or third to Andreas at national championship.
Yeah, but it was in 2017 or 2018.
Yeah.
Not this year. It was 2017 or 18.
Yeah.
Yeah, as I was like racing a little bit, like I guess like this is what like everyone did. In like 2000, also rode like 2 World Cups, I guess, like in Lenzer Heide one and one in Leogang.
Really? In what year?
2015.
Really?
Yeah.
So you raced Lenzer Heide in 2015?
Yeah, or 2015 or 2016, yeah.
Really? No shit.
Yeah.
Fuck, I got the podium that. That was my first podium.
Yeah. I had a flat tire in qualification.
Qualification,
Well, yeah. I rode that, but
small world, hey.
Yeah, but what I wanted to say, like, I guess like everyone started with like racing, and it was the same with me. But then I realized pretty fast that I'm like more happier when I'm doing like videos.
Yeah.
And because like then I can do like a lot of different stuff, and I can be ready when I want to be ready. Not there's the beep and then I have to be ready. And also like I guess like a big point like was what the thing that like we started doing the videos in 2015, and I used to be or wanted to be a racer into 13, 14 and 15, like going like training a lot, and like I wanted to know it. Like I trained really hard and did like the European Cups and 2 World Cups, but I wasn't lucky and I wasn't good.
Yeah,
I was definitely not good. And then we started that filming thing, and then even in the Austrian Champs 2017 or 18, I didn't even train once.
Yeah.
On this track or even on the downhill bike. We didn't really train, like we trained not. And we went really fast. And that's like the thing, like it was pretty interesting because like when I tried like really, really hard, it didn't work. But when I was like completely in the flow and like filming and stuff like that and like feeling good on a bike and just doing the race for fun, it went out pretty good.
Yeah, you enjoyed it. You enjoyed it a lot more. How was the feeling like when you did get on the podium? Was it like, obviously it would have felt good, but was it almost like not worth it in a way? Like, because I know a lot of people, like, I think that's the biggest thing for races. If they do well and it doesn't feel good, that's when you're like, maybe I should do so. Like, obviously if you do badly and it doesn't feel good, it's kind of obvious. But if you do well and it's like, oh, this isn't exciting. Like, how did it feel when you did get it?
For me, it was interesting. Good question, because a lot of guys out there, they don't really well, I don't know the word. They don't really think that I've earned this success. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like the success in being successful in social media. And that was the point when I was standing on the podium, was the point where I said like, hey, you said like, I can't really ride a bike. Now I'm like, I'm not a racer.
Yeah.
And you say I can't ride my bike. And I'm not a racer. I'm trained never.
Yeah.
And I'm standing here on the podium. Like,
Yeah.
you all down there say like, oh yeah, why is he successful? Like, he can't really ride. And then we rode once.
Yeah.
And then I was on the podium. Like, that was cool for me.
It's like validation. Hey, I should be here and I'm here.
Yeah.
Because that's good though. But like, dude, with the haters thing, man, like people are hating on you. I just find like it's like you're obviously doing something right for people to hate on you. Like,
yeah,
it's not always the case, but normally, like if you're just doing your thing and people are hating, I just find it funny because I'm like, I'm glad I'm giving you something to talk about. Like, I try not to worry about other people because it doesn't bother me. It doesn't matter. But like when people start talking shit on you, it's kind of like, I'm in your head. Like,
right.
it's kind of funny.
We already talked about it, and like we already talked about that one guy like who talked from a World Cup, and it was like, for me it was, hey, it's like he knows me, like, cool. Like, it was not the point like that he hated me. Yeah, like I guess like back in the head it was like, why is he hating me and why that? But my first thought was, oh hey, cool, he knows me. Like,
that's a funny thing. He's talking shit, but you're still like, oh man, sick. He knows who I am.
But I guess like as we talked before, the thing what we have done is not casual.
Yeah.
And it's not the normal thing how you become a pro rider. And because like I see myself as a how do I see myself? I don't see myself as a pro athlete. You know, I'm not an athlete. I'm like I'm a pro rider who loves to make videos. And that's the thing. But I guess like a lot of World Cup racers who are hard to get it over to make it a living, they like, oh hey, I trained so hard, and he can't really ride, but he is successful.
Yeah.
And like that's the way why like a lot of people or a lot of successful people hate it.
I think it's a lot of jealousy though.
Yeah.
I think it's a lot of jealousy in the fact that they're like, I'm working so hard and he's further ahead than me. And it's just like, yeah, man, you don't know how hard he's working. And if you wanted that same success, you have every opportunity to then grasp it and do it as well. But I think it's that thing. It's just like when people don't want to do more than they're doing, they'd just rather complain about someone else doing more. Because like we talked about before, like you're working really hard to get where you are. And like right now where you're about to go home and start working full time, flat out, next project, whatever, where I'm going on a holiday. And that's like, and that's the thing though. But like, if you want to keep succeeding, like you said, you haven't been on a holiday for like what, just a year or something like that?
No, so my last holiday was like in 2017, and we went to holiday like this year. Yeah, like we are like 4 years of no holiday, like just working, like really. So
see, I like holidays.
Sure, it's like really just working. So if I look to this year, from starting from Christmas last year to June, where we went into the holidays, there were 5 days of not working. 5 days, and these 5 days were marriage from a friend and like family and stuff like that. But beside of that, like every day, like from 8 to 12 in the night.
Yeah, so you don't deserve to be successful.
Yeah, but how you say, like, it was so cool when I heard the one guy like from the World Cup like saying a little bit shit. It was so cool. He was like, I was like, oh, he knows me. It's like a long time
but
ago.
They obviously wouldn't see the effort and the work that goes in, and like that's the thing. But no one normally does really
Yeah.
see the effort and the work that goes
Yeah.
into this. They just see the views on the end of a video and the likes or comments on the thing, and they're like, why are you so famous? Like, man,
Yeah.
it takes work to get to this
right.
place. And I think you just keep hustling, keep grinding, and don't worry about the shit that comes back. It's just like keep doing your thing.
I guess it doesn't only take work, it takes engagement, like fully commitment, like fully engagement, because like you can work a lot but you're not engaged to travel, or not engaged to change something in your life. Like when I look back, I was in 2015 I was at this decision, like, should I quit my university or should I end it and have the safe university, like the safe job and all of that. And there was the commitment to say, hey, this chance is just one time, and I will go for it. And like that was hard because like my parents were billing like all the bills when I was studying.
Yeah.
And then I had to pay like everything by myself. Yeah, it was cool because like it started like pretty good. But there was a point like you have to have that engagement and to say like mom and dad like say like, hey, you're completely you're something is wrong in your head. But yeah, you have to engage and like have to do it.
Yeah. And that takes a lot of like commitment and like to be like, all right, this is all me now. Let's go. Let's chase a dream. Let's make it a reality. Like that's not something that's easy. So yeah, no, it's cool you've done that. One thing when you talk about engagement, we talked about this last night or the night before with we'll touch on this and then I got one more question. I'll let you go. When you're creating a video and you were saying there's like 4 steps to creating a video to go viral and to get views, and you feel like this is like it's not really a secret, but like you're open about it, but like what do you think the 4 things are that you aim to do? And we touched on a few before, but like your key 4 things when you're creating a video to go viral, what are those things?
Yeah. I guess like it's the same come to the 4 points, but it's the same with like with the fear thing. I thought about all the things like, hey, how can it be successful and what's the reason behind it? And then I came up with like 4 points how to make a viral video. Yeah, like not if you just have one of these 4 points in there, it will go viral, but will definitely help to go viral. Or like you have to have one of them in there to even go viral. Like all the viral videos have one of these 4 points in there. And it's like the first point is like world's first. If you do like something that no one ever has done before, you doesn't care about the video quality, the idea behind it, or the location, or it doesn't care. It's like just you did the world's first. Like the 300 kilometers per hour went viral. Like or another example like Danger Home, which is world's lightest downhill bike. This is like a world's first and a world's lightest. Like it went like pretty viral. And also like if Brandon Zemanak is doing like a world's first, it will go viral. Point. That's the first point. So do something that's like world's first to go viral. And like the 300 kilometer per hour or even the world record from me with riding bike went over 70 million views on social media. Again. And the second point is if you have like a huge or a sick location. Huge or sick location, it's not it's like not your own valley or your own mountain. It's like something like pretty huge. We saw some mountain runners running over the top of a hill in like the sun, and that makes the viewers think like, oh hey, I wanna go out there and I wanna go up there and I wanna be there to do it. Also, like if you ride on a Great Wall of China, like it will go viral because like no one ever have like ridden there, or even Danny McCaskill rode on a Kilimanjaro. Yeah, it will go viral because like the location is so sick. If you go to the third point, it's like if you have a famous person in there. Like, imagine you're doing a wheelie around Cristiano Ronaldo. It will go viral because like Cristiano Ronaldo is in there. And if you are, I don't know, Nino Schurter, how is he? And if he like riding on a really sick track with like a beautiful destination, with like a sick location, it will go viral. And that's like, that's pretty cool. Like bringing in a famous person. That's like also like the third point of going viral. And the fourth point, and that's like, I guess the point what's the most interesting is like to tell a story and be creative. Like on the one hand it's like crashing, it's like entertaining. Like the fourth point is like entertaining. A crash is entertaining, and if you crash cool, it will go viral. And but also like I don't really know his name. He's new to mountain biking. He's like not an athlete. He's like a content creator from America, I think. He's riding Specialized. He's like a little bit. He is like some pounds more, but he's doing like so funny things, and he's like going viral, like millions of views, because like he's doing like so funny things. Like he's entertaining. He's telling stories.
Yeah.
And that's the point. Like you have these four keys how to go viral. And like, yeah, for sure, just if you do one, it doesn't mean that you will go viral, but all the viral videos, they have at least one of them in there. So think about that. Think about storytelling. Think about, in German I say it like the Stellrädchen-Technik. Stellrädchen-Technik is like a technique that you can turn. Like if you do a wheelie, it won't go viral. If you do a wheelie on the Great Wall, it will go viral. And if you do a wheelie on a Great Wall around Cristiano Ronaldo, you will have the jackpot. You know what I mean? So
you've got to try and have all four, but if you can't, at least have as many as
right.
as you
and
can.
like turn the wheel to make it like, hey, think about, is the location sick? Okay, what can I do here to make this location sick? Or can I tell a story? And like this is so interesting to think about, because like when I first started to think about that, at this time I saw different, or I watched different into social media, because like you scroll to down your For You page and you think like, oh, what is it? Is it like, oh, great place, yeah, that's it. Oh, entertaining. Oh, yeah, he's famous. Yeah, famous people. And like, it's so cool. Like you see social media with other eyes. So pretty enjoy it. So
I think you've just got to think outside the box. Hey, like you said before, everyone can make a cool edit. Everyone can ride a bike well.
Right.
People don't want to see that.
Yeah.
People want to see something they haven't seen before, something that excites them, something that, and I try and do that with a lot of stuff where I'm like, how do you create something that's different? How do you create something that no one's seen before? And it's hard, man. It's hard to be the world's first or the world record, all that. But it's like, if you look hard enough, you can probably find something, or you can find a cool location. Or like us, for example, this week, like you're here, Nino's shirt is here, Danger's here. It's like all these guys, like you're saying, it's like, it's very rare that you get that many really, like, we're famous in the bike world, but get together and it's like use each other, like grow each other, and I think that's a real positive thing that Scott's done. Even like this podcast, for example, man. Like I'm grateful that Scott's given us this opportunity to do this, and it's like I'm glad I'm using it for what it could be used for. And I think a lot of the athletes did do that, so I think it is a cool thing.
And you know what's the greatest? Like the privilege we already have. We can do all this stuff. Like you think like if you're younger, like it's, and you don't have the possibility, it's hard to ride 300 kilometers per hour. But you have the possibility to make like the next viral video. You have to, because like you have the sponsors behind you, and you have like everything. You have great filmers around you who will understand you. You have like good sponsors who will like make you everything possible. And it's like this is like a big privilege we have. If we too have an idea, we can go for it. And like everyone can do it. It's way harder, but we are in a privilege that it's like pretty easy to do like nearly everything.
Yeah, we've put in a lot of work to get here, but now it should be easier to
right.
like go forward.
It's not easy, but it's easier.
Yeah, for sure. All right, I got one more question, and I'll let you go. How do you want to be remembered? When it's all over, when you're dead and gone, how do you want to be remembered by everyone?
Haven't thought about that. I guess for me, the most important thing is to be remembered as a enormous friendly guy who wants others to have success and who wants to help them to get success. I guess that's it. But because like also I thought about like what does it bring like for a long time, what does it bring like to have this million views? Like
what can you do with it?
Yeah, like you have millions of views, but what does it bring to you? Yeah, you have millions of views. That's like great. Like but what will you do with that?
Yeah.
And for me it's like the coolest thing when I get all the people I inspired once, if I can inspire them to become better and better and better and making the best out of their lives. And that's like the greatest thing for me. I love to start in a small way with my team riders. The second thing is like the academy. I like the third thing is with my videos. To start with my videos, to inspire them to be like to ride better, to come into mountain biking, then to bring them into the Sanders Academy, to grow like pretty fast, and then bring them to be a team rider, to be like so close to me.
Yeah,
I
think that's the big thing. It's like you want to inspire, you want to uplift, and I think you want to, at the core of it all, just be like a really good mentor, like mentor people to become what they should become or what they could become. I think helping them with that. I
guess that's also like a cool point, because like I have like the guy I talked before, like the Pascal, what I met, there's like such a cool guy to me, and like such a cool mentor to me, and he's like the guy I want to be. You know, like he's so cool and so friendly, and so like he wants the best for everyone. And and you
kind of want to emulate that
right.
as a person,
right?
So I just keep thinking of questions. What were your parents like? Were your parents like really motivating and like uplifting or positive, or were they someone that was like, because even when you said you wanted to ride or focus on that, they weren't as supportive as you would have hoped at the start? They obviously are now, and they can see the value, but at the start were they kind of doubtful for it?
I come out from a city or a village. We have more cows than people. And that says, I guess, like a lot of how I grew up. Like it's like very conservative. And I love my parents, but at first it was like always like, hey, go to school, like go to the university, make a job, and make this job for your whole life. And also like it was pretty hard for me, because like I have 3 older brothers, and like 2 of them are doctors, and one is like also like into finances, pretty big. And then there was me, like canceling the university and riding bikes. And it was hard because like my parents, when like other guys ask my parents, what do your children do, like and the youngest one, he rides bikes. Like that was so hard for them, and so it was something completely new to them. So I'm not angry about them that they wanted to help me with their advice, but I'm lucky that I did my way.
Did that motivate you though? Because they weren't.
No.
It didn't?
No. So they always say like, hey, do your studium, and that's do your university, and that's like the most important thing. that's good. Like,
No, but
they
did the fact that they wanted you to do that, but you didn't, did that motivate yourself? Like, were you motivated by them, like saying?
No, that didn't motivate me.
You didn't.
No, because like what motivates me, that like a lot of people around me didn't thought I will make it.
That's what
Because,
I mean.
like,
Like you're proving them wrong almost.
Yeah, right, right. Like my parents didn't thought that it won't work, but they wanted the best for me, and the best for them was to go to university.
Yeah.
Because like how we say, like there was no shop as a filmer or as a video creator and mountain biking.
Yeah, it was new. It was all new.
Yeah, completely. So yeah. But I love it that they are so cool now. Like they were also at the festival.
Yeah.
At the Standards Academy. At a festival this weekend, and like they were were so happy, and like that's so cool to see that I could they saw, like, I will go back a little bit, like after the 5 years in Innsbruck in 2018, I came back to my hometown, and I lived like half a year in my parents' house, and at my parents' home, and like there they saw how much work I put in there, and that was the key.
Yeah.
Because they saw like I work all day every day, and like it's my life, and that changed like everything. Because like they saw like, oh yeah, we are doing like that a pro thing, like drinking all the time and like just partying and like taking nothing serious.
Yeah.
And then they saw, oh hey, I think Elias is doing it pretty serious. And that changed a lot, and now they're like, yeah, they are pretty proud. That's so cool.
That's cool that you changed the perspective on what you did.
Yeah,
and that's really cool.
Yeah,
because I think it's like sometimes like doubt, especially from parents, because they play such a crucial role. It can either like dishearten and destroy what your dream is, or you can use that for fuel and fire. Yeah. Like my parents were quite supportive, and it helped. But I think I got a lot of doubt from friends, and my school I went to, they doubted it. They didn't think it. So I used that as fire to like, oh, I'll show you kind of thing. And I think I've got a saying that's like, tell me I can and I'll try. Tell me I can't and I will. Yeah. So it's like if people doubt you, use that energy to like, I'll show you kind of thing. It's like I kind of like doubt's kind of good in a way if you know how to use it properly. I think. So
you had like good support from your parents from begin.
Yeah, my parents supported because my and I think it's why I am the way I am. My dad, he's an inventor. He invented a sawmill, like a portable sawmill to cut logs down around the world.
Oh yeah.
And he sold that, and he traveled a lot. And he's invented other things like line marking machines, and he's inventing something as we speak. Yeah. So I think he understood that if you have a dream, and it's like the whole thing you said before, like you can do whatever you want to do if you put your mind to it and work hard. So he saw that I wanted to do this, and he was like, if you want to do this, like you go for it, you can do it. And like that's something that I've always had inside of me, and I feel like you are similar, where like I truly believe anyone can do whatever they want if they work hard and they commit and they put the work in. And I think from a child, I saw that with my own eyes. Like my dad, when I was a kid, I saw him build a helicopter from boxes. He literally ordered boxes and built a helicopter in our shed. So like that's the mindset that like as a kid, it's like, what's possible then if you can just build a helicopter yourself? Yeah. So like to grow up with that right in front of you. Even though he's not like, he wasn't ever telling me like, you can do whatever you want. Like he wasn't preaching that, but like just from his actions, I saw it and then understood it. And then I think that's why I'm such a big advocate for you can be more, do more and everything, because I've seen it. And, and then obviously we've lived it now with like this was a dream. Racing World Cups was a dream. Getting a World Cup podium was a dream. Like being a content creator, doing all that, it was a dream. Yeah. Like at some point it was a dream and you fulfilled it. So now I think that's why you want to share so much and encourage people, because it's like you've seen the results and you've felt it and you know how good it feels. So now you're trying to give it to other people. And I think that's what I mean. You get the fulfillment, because at the end of the day, like I think helping other people will give you way more fulfillment than helping yourself. Like, you helping yourself feels good, achieving a goal feels good, but if you can help hundreds, if not thousands of other people achieve their goal, that's like never ending fulfillment and happiness. So I think that's the goal.
I have a question to you. Like, would you give your children like the same advice as your parents did? Like, do you think like your parents did like a good job with you?
Yeah, I think it's tricky because like if I ever have children, it's that fine line between like I want them to struggle enough to understand what struggle is and how to overcome, but I also, because it's like you see rich parents give their kids everything and they become the worst people because they don't understand the value of money, of time, of people, of everything. But it's this fine line between like, how do you make someone struggle enough to appreciate struggle, appreciate everything they have, but then also not be resentful towards you because you're making them struggle. So it's that tricky one. I think it's like, I think you've got to be someone that you've got to be encouraging, but you've also like got to, just for example, if I had a son and he wanted a mountain bike, I say, all right, if you save up half the money and I'll match you, I'll give you the other half. So then he understands how hard he has to work, but I'm also encouraging him. I'm like, I'm not going to say, no, I'm not going to buy it. I think you've got to have that balance between helping and making them understand that nothing's free and nothing's easy. But man, it's going to be different because I know like my brother's got a little girl and you can tell he's just like, he wants to be the good dad that always gives her everything. But then also it's just like, oh no, like I don't want to spoil you. But I think you've just got to have a balance of like letting them find their own feet and struggle and understand that life isn't always fair and that you've got to overcome stuff, but also giving them the tools that they need to become the best person they can be.
Yeah, because like it was, the weekend was quite interesting because like nearly everyone got a child now, right? Like here it's called, right?
Yeah.
Like everyone has a child now. It's like, it's hard.
It's getting to that point, hey? Yeah. I've got a cat. I'm happy with a cat. But I spoil my cat, so I don't know. Maybe I'll have a kid and spoil it. It could be different. All right, before we wrap it up, just anyone you'd like to thank, whether it be sponsors, people at Academy, Scott, anyone, and we'll leave it at that.
I guess there were like a lot of sponsors who helped me like through all the time because like at first like sponsors were the reason why I could do it, and like now it's an addition to everything, but I'm pretty thankful for like every sponsor I have or had and like what I've learned about it, because like also a sponsor can also be like bad in a way, like it's like,
how do you mean? How so bad?
I guess like sponsors can bring you in a role when you're not hard and say no, you don't want to play that role. It can be bad for you. Like I had a sponsor who was like who wanted like videos from me and stuff like me, and then I said like, oh no, I don't want to do it like that. So I guess like like mainly like you think all the sponsors are pretty good and support you, but you have like it's like a normal life. Like you have like companies, and companies go their line and they want to have their business model, and they search writers who are perfect to this business model.
Fit into it.
Yeah, right. But it can be like that these two business models don't go together.
Yeah, they don't gel. Yeah,
right. And then like there's just one possibility to quit, not to try like to save it in any way, because like you won't be happy and the sponsor won't be happy. So that's what I learned about sponsors, that like the fit has to be perfect. Also like in the Sanders Academy, I say like when it comes to sponsors, like don't think about like, I need to get sponsors and like, oh yeah, I'm sponsored by this and this and this just to be able to write it on Instagram.
Yeah,
man, they're like a shittest thing. Like I think about it, like one point of that was like when I was young, I had like the same. I had a tires sponsor who was like always like, it was shit.
Yeah.
Like really, really shit. And like there were like the break off the don't know it's called
like
the rubber.
Yeah.
The rubber break off, and like it was the baddest tire ever. And that was sad because of that, because of riding with the tires, I had a lot of crashes and I had like bad results. So that's like a thing, like not all sponsors are good to you.
Yeah.
And that's what I wanted to say. Yeah, so thanks to all the sponsors. Yeah, I guess like a big thing with like all the friends or the inner circle around me. That's like the most important thing with like everything. Like my girlfriend, like my filmers, like the whole inner circle team. Like yeah, they made a lot, and like every time like we speak or even at a festival we talk as a we and not as I.
Yeah.
And I guess that's an important thing to not always. You don't have to say thanks to everyone, but to have, I guess, you don't have to say thanks to everyone, but you have to that they can feel that you're pretty happy to have them, and that he is also a part of the team, not it's you with just other guys. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I understand. It's like all a part of the one team.
Yeah.
No, perfect. All right, man. Well, I appreciate it. I think it was a good chat. I hope you liked your first podcast experience.
Yeah, it was sick. Like, I guess we talked a lot. Like, how long was it?
Maybe 2 hours. I'm not
What?
sure.
2 hours,
Yeah, I think so. I don't know exactly, but I think it's probably around 2 hours.
Oh man, like, that's hard. Like, how long does your podcast normally go?
Maybe an hour or so.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah?
I've done some not mine normally go 2 hours around that, but I've done some that have been like 3 hours before, and they go like that. Like when you're really invested and really talking about something that you're really passionate about, they go quite quick. So
like also like this one, like we were just talking.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, it was cool.
That's all I try and do, man. I think I think it's a really appealing thing that people like in the audience, I think just I'm very relatable to athletes because I am an athlete. And I think a lot of people that do interviews are journalists or interviewers, and I feel like it's hard for them to fully relate to something they don't experience.
Yeah,
so
right.
I think it's a cool opportunity I have, and I'm glad I do it because I feel like I can relate on a certain level that other people can't.
Yeah.
And
also, like, I guess like this is the point why we had a talk with a girl who's like running a lot and who did like 7 marathons in 7 days in 7 different countries. And this is like and she is a motivator now, like for companies, and it's like, hey, like who should motivate when it's not you?
Yeah.
You know, like, because like running 7 marathons in 7 days on 7 continents, this is like mental.
Yeah, it's
Like,
insane.
And I guess like sportmen are always like they learn like by their selves, not like because of reading books and doing like other stuff, because like they felt it on their own. Like that's the reason why. And also like I guess as a good sportman, you have to feel yourself. Like you know what I mean? You have to feel your body and what your body can do and what your bike can do. You have to feel everything. And also like it's the same with like your mind. You have to feel your mind and you have to think about your mind. And also like with the fear thing, it was so interesting to think about all that fear thing and like what's behind that. And I guess like if you made some memories with it, like it's much more easier.
Yeah. Sick, man. I'm pumped. I'm glad sick.
It was pretty nice.
It was good.
So maybe we can do like a second episode.
Yeah, we can read. We can do another one. All right, man. Well,
great.
Enjoy the time. Thanks for coming on.
Thanks.
Catch you.